trucking across the USA. Yeah, I'm trucking just about every day. Yeah, I'm trucking. So what you got to say? I'd like to hear it today. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd like to hear it today. Trucker John OTR. Tuesday, Thursday, live streaming on YouTube, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Won't you join me, please? From somewhere in the United States of America,
Las Vegas,
is Trucker John OTR.
retired.
Who knows where I'll be live streaming from? It could be a rest area. It could be a truck stop. Or maybe even a Walmart parking lot.
Or maybe my apartment.
That's right. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream. That's right. It's going down. It's going down.
Oh, it went down. It done went down. It went down the drain. I'm just making my breakfast real quick, guys. Guys and gals. Good morning, everybody. It's still morning. Uh-oh. Did Siri come on?
11:20 a.m. by the way.
Oh, thank you, Siri. Siri felt necessary to tell me that it's 11:20, by the way. It's time to be 2. Listening while cleaning out whole side of my garage.
To do that, you need to first be added as a member in the home settings of your home app.
Please, Siri, go away. I'm not talking to you, Siri.
Okay.
All right, so here we are. Thursday. It is, so I can put that on live chat. Jolie's in the house. Hey, Jolie. 72 is still unpacking from a move from a year ago. Sometimes when I move, I got stuff that never gets unpacked. It just keeps getting hauled around from place to place. And it's like, why do I keep this? Because I love it. I love it. I gotta have it. I can't part with it. I must have it. Looks like we're a little might be coming through a little blurry today, for some reason. I will chalk it up to lousy Wi-Fi. So anyhow, I just stepped outside for a little bit. It's already 2 degrees outside. Well, now it's 103. We're supposed to get a high of 112 this afternoon. So we got that going for us. I'll be right back. Don't mind me. I'm over here. I am. I should probably keep talking, huh? I'm over here buttering my English muffin, putting some jam on it, and completely ignoring you guys like a jerk, like a big jerk over here. Not being a very good host today. And then I wonder why I only have the subs that I have and the following I have. And, you know, just can't figure out why this isn't so captivating material here. All right. Let me get my swizzle stick. Because this coffee that I make here, I do put some French vanilla creamer in it. It's just the coffee just isn't as good as some of the diner coffee that I drink black. It just isn't as good. I'm sorry. So I got to doctor it up with some French vanilla. Anyhow, thank you for being here as I drink my coffee and eat my Cocoa Krispies and eat my English muffin. Here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Uh-oh, that's not how you say it. It's Nevada, people. I just said it that way on purpose as a joke. Don't be a joke. So I was doing some Ubering last night, and you know, I gotta say, hey, there's West. There's Wes. Thanks for being here. I still have old phones on my parents, including a bag phone. And Wes says I'm on my cell phone. I've lost track of how many I've got. It's probably about 5 though. So anyhow, I'm gonna say, I was about to say, I think I've been pretty blessed, maybe, because it seems like most of my passengers are really cool people. And some of these rides be 15, 20 minutes, 20 long, you know? Either because of the distance and then the traffic and everything. And you can almost get a bond in those 15, 20 minutes, you know? And then it's always kind of a little bit awkward when you're dropping them off because it's like, but some of these people you get into some pretty deep conversations, you know. And then you're dropping them off, and then you realize, I think you both realize that you're never going to see that person again, probably. Even though I have had two instances where well, at least two. I think I've had more where I picked up repeaters. But for the most part, you're never going to see these people again. A lot of them, you know, are from out of town, and they, you know, they're going to go. And even if they live here, just the odds of getting that person again is. Although I think I have gotten a few, but so it's kind of that awkward, not awkward, but and not sad, but it's just kind of weird. Like, you know, you get into this really deep conversation for 20 minutes, and then it's like you get to their destination, and it's like, oh, okay, bye. Nice talking to you. And I've had a few people where, I mean, they feel so comfortable, I guess, that they're in the back seat, and then they'll reach up and touch my shoulder or something like, and I'm like, oh, okay, hello. You know, some people are just that way when they talk. Some people use their hands a lot, like this, and some people like to touch people. And then the ride's over, and it's like, okay, nice talking to you. I feel like some people have gone either through the whole day or maybe for a long time, but not having anybody really to talk to. And then we get into conversations, and it can be pretty deep, man. Wes says, we had a copy in Chicago, Afghan military, certain that the U.S. is going to supply them to go back in. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're out. We're not going back in as long as Joe is president. That's for sure. I can't say the same though if, let's say, if Kamala, let's say Kamala, I'm sorry, but whatever, Harris became president, I can't say the same for her. I can't say for any, even sadly enough, I can't even say with confidence that another Democrat wouldn't take us back into Afghanistan. But with Biden, we're not. Oh, so Wes says, yeah, we're not going back to Afghanistan. He just doesn't want to face facts. Hey, the Afghanis had their chance. If they really wanted to step up into the 21st century and stop living like, you know, just a bunch of tribal warlords from the 13th century or something. They had an opportunity. They could have used the United States help to form a democracy or something. You know, to come together and actually be a country instead of just this nation of tribes and, you know. So I say fuck them. We don't need to be spending our lives over there, you know, and our money and all that shit. And if we do go back over there, it's just going to be on more bullshit pretenses. You know what I mean? And I will admit, and I really don't have a problem with this. After 9/11, I was all for us going after Bin Laden, and I had no problem with us going into Afghanistan to find him. The issue I did have was with us going into Iraq. And the bullshit reasons. I mean, I never did buy the weapons of mass destruction. I never did buy any of that shit. And I was totally against that. But we did it. And got rid of Saddam Hussein. Which is really all they wanted, and all the weapons of mass destruction was just the pretext, whatever, to do that. Of course, it cost probably millions of Iraqi lives and many tens of thousands of U.S. lives, because they couldn't just take out and then just leave, you know. These things create vacuums, you know. War is a racket, a famous general once said. What was it, General Smedley or something like that? Like on the last show, talking about Pentagon Papers. Just look at the Pentagon Papers. Pretty well illustrates the point about war being a racket. But then someone will say we shouldn't be involved in Ukraine. And I would disagree, because I think the Ukrainians need the help, and we can't let Russia overrun them and take them over. Just that simple. West says, before the last two world wars, we were not prepared. Now, as Eisenhower told us, I think, military complex really has more power than we like to admit. The military complex, okay. unloading our surplus weapons on Ukraine. Well, it says, see if they ever pay us back. France still owes us money from World War II. Well, you know about those Frenchies. Yeah, those Frenchies. Well, we'll see. Ukraine's a pretty big country and a pretty, when they're not at war, when they're not being invaded by a hostile terroristic country like Russia, they can generate a lot of income. Mainly, I guess, from their agricultural stuff. So, I'm not too worried about them not paying us back. For some reason, I have a bit of a runny nose. Excuse me while I take care of that. Let me just move out of the shot there while I take care of that business. That bit of business. Okay, so Wes is worried about them not paying us back. Like I say, I think Ukraine, once the war is over, and they start rebuilding, I think that they will start paying us back, and even if they don't, I mean, I don't think we even missed the money, and it'll get worked out. I'm sure it'll get worked out. It'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. But I just hope they get this war over with as soon as possible, because it's ridiculous. I mean, it's beyond ridiculous, but it takes away from the seriousness of it and the horrendous, the horrendousness of it. When you think of what, Putin, we've always known that Putin is just a monster. I mean, when he was gassing, remember all those videos where they little Kurdish kids or whatever, those little toddlers, and they were all lined up. They were all dead because they'd been gassed. It looked like they were just sleeping, and they looked really peaceful and like little beautiful little children. They were all dead because Putin gassed them. So we've known for a long time what a complete monster Vladimir Putin is, and now he's doing this, and he started the war off basically by bombing a what was it, a maternity ward, I remember the images of pregnant women on stretchers and things, and so this guy is a horrible, horrible man. I really hope this leads to the downfall of Vladimir Putin, one way or the other. Whether, I mean, ideally, I would like someone just to pull out a gun and put a bullet in his head, but he needs to be deposed, whatever. He needs to be taken down. And I know people will say, well, what will he be replaced with? It could be someone worse. Yeah, but it could be someone better also. So, don't just always go to the negative. It could be someone better. And the fact of the matter is, he needs to go. I'm just looking at Twitch here. I almost never go on Twitch. I don't really like it. But I had a notification. I guess there's TwitchCon Las Vegas. They're on sale now. Oh, so there's going to be a TwitchCon in Las Vegas, apparently. And it says, did someone say TwitchCon Las Vegas? Well, yeah, I just did. Are you ready for TwitchCon Las Vegas? This October 20th through 22nd, you can get together with the community for 3 days of games, cosplay, music, and more. Purchase a 3-day ticket or pick a day that works best for you with a 1-day ticket. And you won't want to miss the TwitchCon party at Area 15. Oh, okay. That's a cool place. See more deets on that below. It's kind of expensive for my old boomer. From my old boomer point of view, everything seems expensive to me. They've got a 3-day ticket for $229, and it's $329 with party add-on. Is the party add-on the Area 15? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably the Area 15. So an extra $100 to go to Area 15. 1-day ticket $149, $249 with the party add-on, and then party pass add-on is $100. Okay, yeah, I can figure that math out. What's included? Community meetups, expo and artist alley, Twitch rivals, meet and greets, reservation required, loot cave, chat badge, Twitch swag item. I wonder if Hal's going to go to that. To the TwitchCon party. Andrea should ask Hal if he's going to go to the TwitchCon party. Because he always talks about Twitch and how, it's important to have Twitch, and he's on Twitch. Maybe he should go to the TwitchCon party. Because if Hal goes, I'll go. Just think, you could potentially have Hal Sparks and Trucker John at the Twitch party at the same time. Wouldn't that be amazing? Huh? I mean, when do you ever see those two powerhouses in the same area at the same time? That'd be amazing. So it says, join us for an immersive experience at Area 15 in Las Vegas. Tickets are limited. So I guess the whole thing's going to be at Area 15. In case those of you don't know what Area 15 is, it's a play on the word, or on the, Area 51. That's out here in northwest of here in the desert of Las Vegas. And that's where our it's a U.S. Military I don't know, installation or whatever, but but the area is known for UFO sightings and that being where the U.S. military houses, some people say dead aliens, maybe even alive aliens, and maybe wrecked spaceships, alien spaceships, and all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to be in this kind of underground bunker or something. And I don't know if any of that is actually true. I can tell you I have driven through that area as a truck driver, and I have seen UFOs there. So there's that. And but it is pretty heavily guarded by military police, and if you cross into that area, you will be apprehended very quickly and arrested. So yeah, that's Area 51. So right here, right next to the 15 freeway, Interstate 15, right here in Las Vegas, is a place called Area 15. So it's sort of a play on Area 51 and the fact that it's right next to Interstate 15. So you see what they did there? You see what they did? So that's Area 15, and it has it's a big giant building. I think it used to just be a warehouse, some sort of industrial warehouse, and they've taken over. There's a few of these little warehouse buildings. I think they've taken over, and they have what's called a Mega Mart. And it's there's a artist, I guess, called Meow Wolf, who does these Omega Marts. There's a few around the country. I think there's one in Albuquerque. I think there's one in Denver, maybe, and I think there's another one somewhere, maybe Miami. I don't know. And then there's one here, and so he makes this thing. I haven't got into it. I've been wanting to go into it. And where it looks like a supermarket. Kind of, I guess it's supposed to look like your standard just supermarket, but then as you go into it, you see that it's not. And there's like these like little hidden rooms that you go into, and it's you just explore this place. Some people said you could explore in there for hours and hours and hours, and it just takes you to all these weird things. You have to crawl through things, and it's just this fully immersive is a good description, I guess. So they have that, and then there's some other businesses around there. They have like that are separate from Area 15, but they're in the same little complex. There's like a whiskey distillery. Then right across is a thing called Luminary or something, some like a big light show thing. You go inside, looks kind of cool. But the Area 15 building is basically the Omega Mart, I believe, and I pick up people there almost every day. Probably every day I'll pick up or drop off people there, and they all say it's really cool. So I guess that's where TwitchCon is going to be, because they do private events there. I know that because last year my son and my now daughter-in-law, at the time I don't think they were married yet. Yeah, they weren't married yet. They wanted to go there, and so we went over there, and it was close to a private event. So they do have private events there. So this says, when attending the TwitchCon party, you must abide by TwitchCon entrance requirements and the Area 15 Code of Conduct. Some experience have height, weight, and age limitations. Please see the Area 15 website for more details. Okay, so this sounds pretty cool. It's going to be at Area 15, TwitchCon. What it's all about? A lot, outdoor festival grounds with DJs. So, the A lot. I guess there's the A lot. They're going to have, so outdoor festival grounds, they'll have DJs. And then there's a museum fiasco, an immersive audio-visual art installation, dueling axes, whatever that is. I guess throwing I know there's a lot of bars that have these things where you can throw axes. I guess that's a big thing. I just want to see something because Jolie wrote, I've been watching for UFOs since I was a kid and have never seen one. What did you see? Oh, well, I've seen several. And like you, Jolie, I never saw any, I don't remember really ever seeing any until I became a truck driver. I guess being out on the road and you're all the time, and sometimes doing nighttime driving. But I was so the one that was here by Area 51, I was driving up Highway 93, and it's from Las Vegas from there. It might be about 100 miles from here, where I was at. Maybe a little less, 80, 90 miles, something like that. And it was nighttime, and I'm driving along in the truck, Highway 93, and then all of a sudden, up in the sky, this big kind of it was almost like laying horizontally, but the way I describe it, it almost looked like a skyscraper, like a regular. Just think of a skyscraper building, like a tall building. Let's say it's like, 100 stories long or something, and it has like just glass panels, it's like something like that. But instead of being vertical, it was like horizontal, and it was like on its side. That's what it looked like. But it was up in the sky, way up in the sky, but it was like lit up. So it was like so it looked like all these window panes, but they were all lit up, and it was huge. It was humongous, and it was just up there in the sky floating. And then all of a sudden, from the side comes in this kind of cylindrical or spheric, kind of like a sphere, comes up to it, and then on one side of it, it was like a light, and then on the back was no light, but I could just sort of see this kind of dark outline of the sphere, and it was like shining this light onto this big, like I say, horizontally looking kind of skyscraper in the sky. And then they started doing this back and forth, like the light would shut off, and then that one would beam its light, and and then this one would shut off, and this would go on and off, and they were doing this back and forth, this kind of light show back and forth, boom, 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 with just lights. And I was like, oh my God. This is back in like 2011 or 2012 or something like that. I think it was 2012. And I actually like pulled over, and I was watching them do this light show, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. They just like they stopped. The lights went out, and they just kind of like went, whoop, and we're gone. And I was just like, oh my God. And this is before I didn't have dash cam. I didn't have I think I just had like this cheap little flip phone thing, I mean, I wish I could have gotten video of that. So that was that. It was like no spacecraft or aircraft that I've ever seen that we have. Now maybe the people say sometimes Area 51 has top secret aircraft that's just human made, it's US made or whatever, military made, but and that they're testing it out or something. Because that's awesome. Yeah, it was awesome, and it was so I remember I got out of the truck and I was looking around, because I was like thinking, oh my God, what if they saw me, and that's why they took off maybe, and like I hope no one comes after me or whatever, I don't know. So I got in the truck and I just kept going for a while. But that was weird. Then, okay, here's another one I saw. Now, I've seen this a couple different times on Interstate 40 in California. So, and it's kind of hard to describe where it is, but it was out in the middle of the desert. It's somewhere between Needles and Barstow, let's just say, if you ever want to look up a map. Between Needles and Barstow, about halfway between there on Interstate 40. Okay, there are these big communication towers or whatever they are, right? That they have, these transmitting towers. I don't know if it's a cell tower or if it was a radio tower or whatever. But they have these towers up there on these mountains. And they've got these big, dishes or whatever up there. And one night I was going through, and all of a sudden, this big round light, I mean, way bigger, and it was way above where those towers were. And it was the light, it kind of looked like a searchlight. If you've ever seen a searchlight, but just think of a searchlight, but like 100 times bigger than a searchlight, you know, or 1,000 times bigger. I don't know, because it was this big, huge, just round light that was just up there in the sky, and then, but then apparently that wasn't the only one, because it was up there and that shut off, and then another one next to it turned on, and then that shut off, and then another one, and another. There was like 4 or 5 of these big, giant, round, white lights, but only one of them at a time would go off, and it was very reminiscent of, if you've ever seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was kind of reminiscent of that, but that was different colors and stuff. These were all white and they were round, but they were doing kind of a sequence. It was like da 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 da, you know, or whatever. But there was no music or no sound. But it reminded me of that, the way it was lighting up in this kind of a sequence. It would go do do do, and then do 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 do, you know, back and forth. And it did that a bunch of times, and then it just stopped and disappeared, and it like just went away. And then I had my CB at the time, and I was just like, "Is anybody else seeing this?" And everybody, the CBs got real loud. Everyone was like, "Yeah, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?" So a bunch of us truckers, we saw it, and we're like, "Holy shit, what the fuck was that?" And everyone's like, "I've never seen anything like that before," you know. And they're going, "Oh, that was a fucking UFO," you know. So that was right there on Interstate 40. I saw that. And then another thing I saw was in Dallas, Texas. I was parked for the night in this, it was like an industrial area. I wasn't at a truck stop. I remember I had a delivery early in the morning at this one place, and there was no place to park, or truck stops were full. So I went ahead and just parked at the facility that I was going to deliver it to in the morning. Actually on the street, but I was able to park there. And I remember I got out of the truck, and I went back because I wanted to put a lock on the door, just so I felt, you know, I don't have to worry about somebody, you know, just opening the door during the night, you know. So I went back there to put the lock on my door, and then as I was doing that, I could hear this kind of humming, and it felt really close, like above me, flying just overhead. It was just this sort of humming. It was just like it was like a you know, noise. And I look up, and I mean, I don't think it was more than a few hundred feet above me. Hey, Andrea, thanks for being here. And it was kind of like this invisible thing where, you know, it was kind of like, you know how in whatchamacallit, you know, what's the movie with the monster becomes invisible? Hal always quotes from it, from, you know, Jesse Ventura was in it, and Schwarzenegger. I'm having my old man brain fart. What's that movie? Well, anyhow, but it was kind of like you could sort of see this kind of outline and kind of a blurred thing, but I could see like stars and stuff through it, like through the sky. I could see like the other side. I could see right through it. Oh, come on, Wes, you know. They've made a whole bunch of sequels of it. You know, it was like Predator, I guess. Predator. Not Terminator, Predator. It's kind of like that, how he would be invisible, but you could kind of almost see a little blurred thing. That's kind of what this was like. and it was almost like there were sort of like pinholes where I could almost see like light shining through it, and it was just going overhead, but it looked like it was in some sort of stealth mode or something. And I swear to God, I could hear voices, and I think these were human voices. That's why I don't think this was like an alien fake. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think this was like alien. I think this was some sort of US thing, but it was almost like a blimp or something, but it was like in this stealth mode where it was like invisible, and I could and it was weird. It was like maybe it was reflecting stars or something, because it's like I could see the stars and everything through it from the other side of it. That was weird. And then here's another thing that I saw that was kind of strange. I thought was strange, and this was in the middle of Texas somewhere. I was on this highway, forget which one it was. Might have been 287. I don't know. Long stretch of highway. I was driving at night, and hey, is Benny Loco in the house? We're talking about my UFO stories. Hey, Benny Loco. And I was Benny Loco has seen many UFOs. I caught one on video. We are not now, nor have ever been alone. I think I saw that video, Benny Loco. But here's the thing about government cover-ups, or whatever you want to call it, conspiracies, whatever. I was driving through Texas in my truck, big rig, on the highway, and I don't remember. Like I said, it might have been 287, but I don't really remember now. But I was in a very remote part of Texas. And we've all seen these convoys, these military convoys where they go out and they've got like a big long line of military vehicles, and right, and they drive through the highways or whatever. Well, so I had one of these come up on me, and they started passing me. And as they passed, I was looking at these trucks. They were these green trucks. Some of them were like not really like big rigs, but they were like these big trucks that were covered in the back, almost like these personnel carriers or whatever. But there was these big trucks, and there might have been some dry vans and things like that, but they were all green, and there was a bunch of Jeeps and Humvees and stuff like that. But they were all this green, and it wasn't really your typical sort of army green. It was a different green. Hard to explain it. There was something that was off about it. And then the thing that I noticed that was really off about it is there were no markings whatsoever on these vehicles. Like, whenever you see a military convoy, whether it's Army or the Marine Corps or whatever it is, it's always marked, right? It'll say what branch of the military it is. They've got ID numbers. They've got insignias. They've got all this kind of shit. These vehicles had nothing. They were completely plain wrapped. There was no insignias, no ID numbers. There weren't even driver's plates, license plates. There was nothing, completely nothing. And I swear it must have been 100 vehicles that passed me. They were all in line, and they were in a hurry because they were hauling ass, and they were all boom 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 going by me, and every single one of them was this green, no mark. It was kind of like, if you remember, just talking about the little green men during these protests, right, that were going on, and people were talking about the little green men, and there was no markings. Well, these were big green trucks and vehicles with no markings whatsoever. I don't know what branch of government they were from. I don't know what they were doing, but they were all going by me in a hurry. And then later on, I got to this road, and there was a roadblock. They had set up a roadblock, and I had to go through a detour. So something happened. I mean, I don't know what happened, but whatever it was, some entity sent out a response team with a huge number of trucks and vehicles, all unmarked. I have no idea what they were doing. All I know is they blocked the road off and set up a big ass detour, and all of those vehicles were going into that detour area. They were setting up some kind of response. I think it was a response to something, maybe a crash landing, a UFO landing. I don't know. I guess I'll never know. I'll die not knowing. But I do know that I saw those vehicles, and I've never seen anything like that before, where there's no markings whatsoever. Other than have seen these other trucks that they drive, the government drives, and they're blue cabs, and then they have these silver trailers. They're kind of silver looking, and those are pretty much unmarked. But I think they still have DOT numbers, and they have license plates on them. And those guys, I've seen those guys, and those guys are packing. They're usually ex-military, of some sort, usually SEALs or Army Rangers, and they've got a Glock somewhere. You don't see it, but they got concealed carry, and they're carrying, and they are licensed to kill, because they're hauling radioactive material, and those trailers, if you ever see one, don't ever fuck with it, because they are set up that if anyone tries to break into one of those trailers, it's set up to, it's like sabotage, not sabotage, but it's booby trapped, so that if anyone tries to break into one of those, it will kill them. I'm not sure exactly what they do, but they've set these things up that anyone tries to break into those trailers, you will die. So, and I've seen those guys on the road, I-25 corridor, a lot, from Denver to Albuquerque, or Denver to wherever they're going. So anyhow, let me go back to some of these things here. I've been, for some reason, why did this shut off? Let me go back on here. I can read the chat better on the iPad. And I'll catch up with, looks like Benny Loco's got some stuff to say. She's got some things to say about that. So, okay, is here. Thank you, Andrea, for being here. Oh, like I said, Andrea, you should see if Hal will go to that TwitchCon. It's in Vegas. And if Hal's goes, I'll go, and then we'll have, like I said, we'll have two really big powerhouse YouTubers there. Hal and some other guy. Anyhow, Julie says, where am I at here? Oh, Wes says, when I see stars, that's all they are, blah, blah. Julie says, obviously I need to take a trip to the desert. If I'm ever going to see a UFO. Yeah, or drive out in the middle of Texas. Benny Loco says, I've even been for a ride when I was 4. It was amazing. I also took a flight again when I was 12, but nobody is supposed to talk about that. It makes people think you're crazy. Wow. Well, that is amazing. So you were like abducted, apparently? I mean, that is amazing. Benny Loco says, hi, Andrea. And then Benny Loco says she's met the Men in Blacks. So say hi to Will Smith for me. No. They didn't do the memory eraser thing? Jolie says, I've always told my kids, if a UFO ever stops by, I'm going to try and get a ride. Wes says big black fancy panel vans. No, these were the ones I was talking about were green. Benito says I dug an implant out of my right nostril. Oh my God, really? Did you keep it? Benito says, Jolie, you would love a ride. It's amazing seeing Earth from up in the atmosphere. Wes says, sounds like you're already pretty high, Benny Loco. Jolie says, well, creepy Benny, I've never seen any UFOs or aliens, but I see ghosts. Not supposed to talk about that either, or you're crazy. I think I've seen ghosts too, Jolie. When I was about 11 or 12, we lived in this house in Victorville, and I remember my mom and I would be in the living room at night watching TV or something, and we would always hear this noise in the hallway. And like we would just be watching TV, and then at the same time, we would both go, did you hear that? And we'd be like, yeah. And so I guess we didn't see a ghost. I don't remember actually seeing a ghost, but it would always sound like someone was walking down the hallway, and we would turn around expecting to see somebody come out of the hallway. And the only two people in the house were me and my mom. You know, it's like my dad would be working and me and mom would be at home watching TV, and it was so creepy. And then we found out later that somebody was murdered in that house that we lived in. So I don't know. Weird, huh? Benny Loco says, I'm packed with information. Getting people to listen is a whole another deal. Benny Loco, I grew up in a very haunted house, Jolie. What an experience. Andrea says, I will ask him. Oh, good. Yeah. Tell him Trucker John's going. Wes says, the song is Some Nights by Fun. Some Nights. Yeah, I like that song. Benny Loco says, I'm not medicated yet, Wes. And Andrea says, be right back. Got to go in the store. Wes says, I have been interviewed by Men in Black, mostly for student references. Okay. Benny Loco says, I did keep it, but our house burnt down. Oh. That was probably the Men in Black burned your house down so that you burned evidence. Benny Loco says, okay, Andrea. Wes says, we had this very old house at the top of a sandy hill. The house was settling and would make creaky noises, especially in the wind. Yeah, well, the house I was talking about was on a very firm foundation. It wasn't on a hill. It wasn't on sand. And it wasn't that old. And it wasn't just creaking from the wind. It was a ghost walking down our hallway, Wes. Benny Loco says, one day I'll do a Q&A on about anything that's happened during my life. I'm an open book. Cool. That'd be awesome. Wes says, when I see stars, that's all they are. Okay. They're not like suns in some other galaxy. Benny Loco said, the cause of fire was never found. Yeah, see. The Men in Black, they know how to cover their asses. They know how to cover their tracks. Wes says, the house is still there. It still has a preacher's family living in it. And Wes says, a few are planets. Yes, planets and suns. But there's no daughters, apparently. I don't know. But, yeah, so I think that was our little ghost story, was that house. I think there's been other things. I just don't remember. I know I've seen things on the road where my eyes play tricks on me. I've seen things just driving where I could have sworn there was like a person walking along the side, but then you get up to it and they're not there. So that is, who knows? Is that just my eyes playing a trick on me or what, you know? But I've seen that quite a few times. Lots of times, actually. Jolie says, old house had a ghost that messed with stuff, turned lights and TV on and off, play with the kids' toys that made noise. It didn't like scary movies. When we played one, it would shut it off every time. Wow. That's funny. It didn't like scary movies. That is so weird. You think about that. It's just so... It's creepy. Creepy and spooky. But yeah, there's definitely stuff going on that that is from another dimension and from another world. There's definitely stuff going on out there, because we all have a lot of us have our stories. We can't all be making up this shit, right? I mean, I got my stories, so if I expect anyone to believe me, then why should I not believe someone else? You know what I mean? It's like it kind of goes both ways here. I mean, but then also I always think, there must be some explanation. It might just be I saw things wrong or whatever. I don't know. Benigo says, did they ever whisper really close in your ear, Julia? That's where I draw the line. Oh yeah, that would be really spooky and creepy. Wes says, I have a very old IBM Radio Shack alarm system that turns light and a radio on and off. Sometimes they seem to do so by themselves. Jolie says, I see my stepdad that passed at my mom's house all the time, and I often see randos that I don't know who they are. Wow, that is scary, Jolie. I think that's scary. Benny Logo says, I have no reason to lie about anything. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if I want people to believe me, then I need to believe them too. It goes both ways. What says, is it old tech, infrared remote control? Lots of remotes are strong these days. I don't know. I guess that was for Jolie's. You're talking about Jolie's remote control? But it looks like happy 420 somewhere. It might be. We missed it though. It's 12:21 now. So. But hey, you know what they say? Better late than never. Ba-da-boom. No, my alarm light system. Oh, it is old tech. Okay. Like old Siri. Benny Loco, it is here. Julie says, I bought a bunch of picture frames to give Christmas pics of my kids to family. The kids were in bed. I went to get a load of laundry out of the dryer. When I came back, the frames were all lined up. Huh. Standing up, ran and checked the kids. They were still sleeping. So make sure one of the kids didn't play a joke on you, right? Listen, I started earlier, my queen. I just, for full disclosure, I do not imbibe. I am cannabis free. This is a cannabis free broadcast. I just had some coffee though. I did have coffee, and I might even make myself a second cup because this one is done. So I think I'm going to make a second cup. Yeah. So I'll be right back while I make a cup of coffee. You guys chat amongst yourselves. Wes said, I just spent an hour and a half in the dentist chair. Oh, that sounds lovely. That's a lovely time. I need to go to the dentist. In fact, I have an appointment actually. So I'll be in that dentist chair in a few days, I think. I should check my calendar. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. I think it's from drinking the coffee and now I'm going to have another cup. So go figure on that. All right, so I'm back. You guys miss me? All right, so yeah, I'm just making some coffee. I'm gonna get jacked up on coffee, and then I'm going to go do some Ubering today. I hate. Benny Logo says I hate when they move stuff around. Benny Logo says cheers, Wes. Wes says, I just spent an hour. Oh, okay. I just read that one. Benny Logo says, without cannabis. Oh, you know what? I better make sure I have this on all chat, all messages. That would help, right? Oh, okay. Never mind. Benny Logo says, without cannabis, I would be foaming at the face. Ooh, yeah. Julie says, cheers, Benny. I just don't partake in it. I used to smoke pot when I was a teenager, and then I outgrew it. Actually, into my 20s and mid-20s, late 20s, I don't know. But then once I got married, I just quit. I just stopped because my wife didn't do that, really. And, you know, we're adults. We were working at the post office. And we didn't smoke pot. I didn't snort any more cocaine. Once I got married, it was like no more cocaine, no more pot, occasional drinking, social drinking. And that was about it. And that has been about it ever since. Well, this coffee machine is making a funny noise now. Oh, there. I guess that's just what it does when it's brewing. Makes funny noises. Maybe that's why it was on sale. Hope I kept the receipt. Just in case. But then, okay, so yeah, once I got married, I was working at the post office. Pretty much, No more pot, no more coke, no more speed, no more acid. None of that shit. And then when I got into trucking, it was especially none of that shit, because as a truck driver, you're subject to random drug tests. So the great thing about being, drug free is whenever I got called in for a random drug test, I didn't have a fucking care in the world. I didn't have to worry about anything, because I knew nothing was ever going to come up, because I knew I hadn't done anything in like 30 years or whatever. Wes says, I can't drink beer anymore, at least not much. Benito says, you don't have a horrendous TBI, or do you? I stopped taking 14 prescribed medications for one plant. Best choice I ever made. I don't have a problem with that at all. Benito says the endocannabinoid system should be taught in school. First of all, I gotta learn how to say it. I quit everything too, John, while my kids were growing up. They're grown now, so smoke away. Benito says, I don't do drugs, never have. I don't drink either. Alcohol is poison, just like Big Pharma. I don't know, isn't alcohol just made from plants and shit? Isn't that what people say about pot? It's just natural. Endocannabinoid. Liz says, I stopped opioids. Which I took for over a decade. Opioids. Alcohol cannot be broken down by the body. That's why it kills the liver. Wes says Norco. North Corona? There's a town in Southern California called Norco. And it's basically, or Covina. Is it Covina? There's Covina, and then there's Norco. And Norco, they named it Norco because it's like North Covina. So when you say Norco, that's the first thing I think of. I think of this town near San Bernardino, basically. All things in moderation, folks. All things in moderation. I think that's a good thing to live by. If you want to drink some alcohol, of course, if you drink in excessive amounts, day after day, year after year, of course you're going to kill your liver. But yeah, I think there are many great medicinal um, purposes and great results using um, cannabinoids. I don't know about the edo part, but the cannabinoids and the um, and the CBDs and all that kind of stuff. I remember years ago reading about kids that were having seizures, and how if they could get this, I think it was this cannabinoid oil, that it would stop their seizures. They wouldn't have seizures, or they would have very, very few seizures, compared to taking the more big pharma medications and things, where they would still have seizures daily, sometimes multiple times a day. And then they would put them on this cannabinoid oil, or whatever it was, and the seizures would go away, or be very, very, very few. And in order to get that, in order for parents to get that to their kids, they had to break the law at that time. This is from a few years ago, probably. And I think things have become more and more legal, and so that's a great thing. So there are great medicinal purposes for these CBDs and things of this nature. I don't deny that. Benny Logo says humans are not the smartest animal on the planet, sadly. Well, I don't know. You can be smart and you can do dumb shit. I think the reason we're at the top of the food chain is because we are the smartest. It's not because we're the biggest and the strongest, right? Liz says, I was diagnosed with a fatty liver. Well, tell your liver to go on a diet. Benny Logo says they can't even control their food intake, for fuck's sake. Who, humans? Wes says they are bad for the liver, also contain Tylenol. With the Norco, I guess. Benny Loco says CBD Charlotte strain. Suzanne, hey Suzanne Furiasepi, thanks for being here. Suzanne says I eat fish and chicken, a Mediterranean diet. That sounds yummy. I love fish and I love chicken. But I also love me a steak, you know what I mean? Wes says, pretty legal in Illinois. Wes says, not federal, though. Yeah, we need to take that shit off of the, Schedule 2 or 3 or whatever. Jolie says, hi, Suzanne. Forrest Yuppie. Benny Loco says, I wish they would do the science. But Big Pharma can't patent a plant. Therein lies the problem, I guess. I don't know. Benny Logan says, hola, Ms. Suzanne. Suzanne Foriasepi says, hi, Wes Webb, and Benny Logan, and Ms. Jolie. And then there's some emojis. Looks like a donut, coffee, and hug or something. I don't know what that is. Suzanne says, we are prone to make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, we're just human. We make mistakes, but I don't think we're the dumbest animal. I don't think that makes us the dumbest animal. Or, I think we're the smartest. We're complex. We're very complex. Benny Loco says, you never see any obese animals running around in the wild. I don't know. I've seen some pretty fat gorillas. They got a beer gut that puts mine to shame. Even though it's funny, I hardly ever drink beer, but I got a beer gut. Wes says, eating turkey and noodles this evening. Hey, Suzanne. Turkey and noodles. Beniogo says, Schedule 1, right next to morphine and heroin. Yeah, okay. I know you would clarify that for me. Yeah, it's ridiculous. this is going back to the old, Reefer Madness days, right? Suzanne Giuseppe says, I eat spaghetti for breakfast. Laughing out loud. Put an egg on it and some sausage. And hey, it's breakfast. Sounds like breakfast to me. Binoto says, that's how gorillas are built, shaking my head. The Nile is the river in Egypt. Okay. That's how they're built. Well, this is how I'm built. All right, motherfucker? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't know. Rhinoceroses don't look too svelte to me. And they're vegetarians, apparently. But they don't look sexy and hot. They look like big, fat rhinoceroses, right? I'm not even going to go with elephants. I'm not even going to talk about the elephants. My God. No, hey, look. If I guess if we all had to go and forage for food and live out in the elements, we'd be skinny. We'd all be skinny, right? Is that what we want? Hell no. I'm in a nice air-conditioned apartment here. Fuck that, man. I'll be fat and I'm fat and happy right here in my nice air-conditioned apartment. Benny Loco says, I eat once a day because I don't require any more than that. I eat once a day, all day. Benny Loco says, food is fuel that's been made into an obsession. Wes says, I had a turkey thigh and a baked potato for lunch, just in case I couldn't eat the rest of the day. See, that's what I do. I just eat just in case that there's not going to be another meal coming. So I'm just like, but I better eat it. Better eat it just in case. I better keep a little storage here. I'm all stored up. Susanna says, rhinos and elephants are tanks, laughing out loud. Yes, they are. Benny says, what happens when the power dies? Then I get hot and I sweat. I was talking about all this on my last show. As long as the power grid holds up, I'm good. And I was kind of worried, if we're going to start having some rolling blackouts or brownouts or whatever. But so far, fingers crossed. I can't cross my fingers, but everything's holding together. So, but you know what? We adapt. Humans adapt. We'll figure something out. Suzanne says, West Webb put hot pepper jelly on your meat. Hot pepper jelly? I ain't never heard of no hot pepper jelly. Wes says, I will lose a few $100 worth of meat, Benny Local, laughing out loud. Hot pepper jelly makes your crown stay on, Suzanne. Wes is questioning something. Benny Local says, best choice, the cover your ass choice. I don't know what that was in reference to. Best choice. But, okay. You hoard meat, Wes? Benny Loco said. I'm a meat whore. Anyhow, Wes says, on thawed meat. In a disaster, it would need to be cooked or thrown away. Oh, so, if the power went out. Yeah, that would suck if the power went out. Suzanne says jalapenos have antioxidants in them. I like a little jalapeno every now and then. I'll eat me a jalapeno. You know. Benny's logo says, if you are prepared for the worst, you breeze right through the best choices. Wes says, I think he meant 2 refrigerator. Not like I have 2 refrigerator, freezers. But he has, I think he means dose. So you got a lot of refrigerators and freezers there, by golly, you sure do. I ain't gonna lie about that. That's a lot of refrigerator and freezer right there. You could probably put in a lot of meat. Probably store a whole side of beef and a deer. That's what I think you could do. This is for one person. What says, I get a tenderloin and cut it into steaks, and I buy my Swedish meatballs in bulk. Now that's a man who loves the Swedish meatballs. I tell you, you must eat a lot of Swedish meatballs. I can't remember the last time I had a Swedish meatball. But a good Swedish meatball is good. I'll tell you, I'll give you that much. I just don't buy them in bulk. I mean, it's something I have maybe once every 5 years. I might have me a Swedish meatball. Wes says, if chicken thighs or turkey thighs are on sale, I stock up. Yeah, why not? Suzanne says, I don't require much meat anymore. I eat fruit and veggies and whole grain bread and hard cheese, plus a lot of pasta. It all sounds yummy to me. I love all that shit. Wes says, I eat them all the time. Cook in just a few minutes. I should get me a frying pan. I don't even have a frying pan. Benny Logo says, sometimes I'll go 2 or 3 days without eating. I eat when I'm hungry, not out of boredom or entertainment. And I'm exactly the opposite. I eat out of entertainment and boredom. Well, not so much boredom. I think just entertainment. I just eat because, I find it entertaining. Wes says microwave. I do have a little microwave. It's pretty small. It's only like this big. And I do microwave some meals. Some of those, microwavable meals. Suzanne says, Wes Webb, that part of my life is null and void, laughing out loud. What part of your life? The cooking thighs and turkey thighs? Let me make sure I'm on... Yeah, I'm on all messages. Okay. Bendigo says, a mosh pit is entertaining, but I'm not going to partake. Well, I won't at this age. If I was younger, I would. But I might break a goddamn hip or something at this age. And so, yeah, no mosh pits for this old guy. If I go to a concert, I'm going to be sitting in the back somewhere and just enjoying the music. I'm not going to be moshing in the pit. Yeah, those days are long gone for me. But I can headbang. I'll just be like, doo, doo, doo. That's about the extent of my movement. Yeah, just doing some headbanging. Wes says, I'd probably be better off going veggie, but I can't. Oh, you can do it. You could do it, Wes. Baby steps, Wes. Baby steps. Just do Meatless Monday. Start off with Meatless Monday, and see how that goes. And even if you don't become full-time veggie, that one day a week is I think there's medical proof or evidence or whatever that suggests that even going meatless for one day a week is beneficial to your health. So just do Meatless Mondays, and see how that goes. Bro Kip, why you have to remind me? I'm sorry, Benny. Just came up. Wes says, how's he doing, Benny Loco? Wes says, I've had meatless days. Okay, well, that's a start. Benny says, and Turkey Tit Tuesday. Yeah. Why not? Basically, yeah. That's just turkey breast, so. Joey says, hugs Benny. Hey, KO! Hi, John, Jolie, Benny Loco. Glad to see you here, KO. Hope you're feeling better. Hope things are looking up over there for you. Benny Loco says, very slow, Wes, not too good. He may need another surgery. Shaking my head. Yeah, Benny Loco. Hope everything goes well with your husband. That must be really tough for him to go through and for you to go through. And so yeah, we are thinking about you, Benny, and your husband and everything. Benny says, Kenneth, hi, honey. Wes says, hey, Ken. And Jolie says, hey, KO. Glad you could join us. We're just talking just random shit, random Trucker John shit. Everything from UFOs and ghosts and CBD and Mediterranean diets, all that kind of stuff, things of this nature. That's been pretty much the arc of the show today, which is fine. That's what we do here at the Trucker John Show. We just let it go, man. We just let it go and see where it ends up. I'm just the conduit. Conduit because I can't do it. I can't do it, so I'm the conduit. And we just meander. We just meander through this conversation, and it's just kind of interesting where it ends up. Sometimes it's interesting. So Suzanne's for Siepi, I'm sorry. Jalapeno hamburgers and jalapeno fries. Can you just go too far with the jalapenos? Look, I like a little jalapeno every now and then, but I think you're a little too far with it. Wes says food, drugs, and broken bones. Okay, I was trying to steer away from the broken bone thing, Wes. Now you put it right back in there. KO says, out of the hospital, don't have biopsy results yet. Tired to outside, 97 degrees. Okay, well, man, just hoping the best, positive thoughts, thinking positive on those results, and just get some rest there at the house. Stay out of the heat if you can. The heat and the humidity. I'm sure it's probably humid as fuck also. So, just try to stay inside and get some rest. Wes says old folks stuff. Jolie's, hey Wes, just speak for yourself. No, I'm just kidding. Jolie says we've covered a lot of ground today. KO says, hi, Suzanne. And KO says, listen mode for a while. Okay, cool. Suzanne says, KO, wish you a speedy recovery very soon. And Wes says, I have a southern friend named Gail who puts jalapenos on everything. I bet she does. Hey, look at here. I like a little jalapeno every now and then, but I draw the line at French fries. Only thing I put on my French fries is ketchup and Miracle Whip. Okay. No, I don't really put Miracle Whip, but I will dip into some ranch dressing or something like that every now and then. I actually like to mix a little ranch dressing with my ketchup, and then dip it in like that. I know there are some people that just absolutely hate ketchup for some reason. My brother hates ketchup. I don't know why. He's also a MAGA, so correlation, maybe not, but I'm thinking maybe, yeah, something's going on there. There's some sort of disconnect. He hates ketchup and he's a MAGA, so you draw your own conclusions from that. I'm just saying. Anyhow, yeah, I like a mild jalapeno. I'm a big sissy in a lot of ways, in a lot of things. And when it comes to spices and stuff, I don't like it. Like, something is really super hot to the point where you can't even taste anything anymore. It kind of defeats the purpose of eating. I like to taste my food, not have my tongue burnt off. But I do like maybe a medium or somewhere between mild and medium of spicy hotness. But I don't go much beyond that. It's like I don't understand the point unless you're just trying to prove how tough and macho you are by eating the hottest possible thing you could possibly eat. And so I'm not really into proving how macho I am, you know. Suzanne says, don't laugh. I hate to, I hate to shit. I don't know. No trucker, John Sex. What? Don't laugh. I hate to. No trucker, John Sex. I don't know. I don't get that one. Benny Logan says, ask me. All MAGA needs to be put in mental asylums. Deprogramming is desperately needed. They needed something, yeah. Wes says, it is a matter of what you are used to. The further south you get, the spicier the food. The natives are used to it. They think our food is bland. Well, I think their food is stupid. Poo-poo. So there. Benny Logo says, what, Miss Suzanne? And Benny Logo laughing. And then Wes says, Southern women carry hot sauce in their purses. That's not all they carry. No. I'm just saying, I don't need it to be like as hot could be. I just need it hot enough where, yeah, it's nice, but I don't need it to burn my tongue off, and then I can't. Oh, is that where we're going with that? Anyhow, never mind. Benito says Southern women also lay in the hay with their brothers and daddies. Yeah, because Northern women would never do that. Or Western women, or Eastern women. Only the Southern women. Anyhow, let's just keep painting with a broad brush here. Suzanne says, I'm in oh, I know, I've heard, yeah, you talking about that. And Suzanne, man, I don't know. We just want you to be safe. We just want you to be safe. And I know people are telling you to get out. I just wish somehow you could get into a safe situation. Somehow, some way. So that breaks my heart, and I just wish there's some way you could just get out of there, you know. Benny Logo says the difference between Southern women do it willingly and for fun. Well, then, you know, it's for fun. So, hey, Cool Frog. Hey, I was wondering if you were lurking. I'm a white boy from Minnesota, and I put jalapenos on everything. What is the point? I don't know. Do we need a point? Do we really need a point? I don't. At this point, I think we're pointless. Suzanne says, my sex life is null and void due to years of abuse. Oh, man, Suzanne, please. God, if there's any way you can get out of that and find someone you could go stay with, or, oh, man, it's just, like I say, it just worries me and it breaks my heart, and I just wish you could get into a better situation somehow, you know? Wes says, exactly, Benny Loco, oh, we're talking about the Southern girls doing it willingly. Okay, that's just a gross subject. I don't know. Wes says, but with cheerful, sincere smiles. Okay, I already read that. Julie says, sorry, Suzanne, and sends love. Yeah, is there any way, Suzanne, man, if I could do something, I would. I don't want to be one of those, let me know whatever I can do, and then I'm like, well, I can't do that. But, man, I'm just beside myself here, Suzanne. Benny Loco says, Cool Frog, you came back. Oh yeah, Cool Frog, he comes in here. He likes to check in, and always glad to see him. But my full disclosure, my dad was born in Minnesota. My whole dad's side of my family were all in Minnesota. So I have Minnesota roots, I guess, right? Roots, right? Let's see, where did we leave off here? Cool Rock says, of course I came back, so you all do not sit in an echo chamber. Yeah, we're just all, you know, reaffirming our beliefs. Benny Loco says, if I could come and bust you out, I would, Miss Suzanne. I know it. Jesus, do we need to get a road trip going and go get Suzanne? I think we do. I don't know. This is Benny Loco says, fuck off, frog. Go roll in the hay with your sister at gunpoint. Okay, that's kind of uncalled for. That's uncalled for, Benny Loco. You know, I don't think that's appropriate. Wes says, Levin, I disagree, Cool Frog. You disagree that we are in an echo chamber? Well, I mean, so far, everyone I've seen in the chat, we are probably all liberal, I guess, right? So I can see Cool Frog's point of view on that. You know. But I don't think we need to resort to name calling at this point. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've never called someone a name. You know me. I'll be like Benny Loco. Something's going to hit a nerve, and I'll go off on somebody. So I'm not innocent with the name calling, but I don't think we've gotten there yet, guys. I mean, right off the bat, we're going to go to the name calling. I mean, so Suzanne is back to Gumbo and Soul for smiley face. I don't know. Benny Loco says, I will not be talked to by a retarded drunk. Okay, well, you know, I thought we weren't using the R word. I thought that wasn't politically correct. I thought we were supposed to replace that with moron. That's what I do. I try not to use the R word, and I've replaced it with moron. Wes says, I am moderately progressive. I believe in universal liberation, but it would not come tomorrow. It will not come tomorrow. Benny Loco says, come on over to my chat, Frog. I have no problem dicing up trolls. Well, you know, I don't know if Cool Frog's a troll. I think he has his opinion, his point of view, and I will tell you, I probably disagree with Cool Frog 90% of the time. I don't know, you know, or whatever. But I don't think he's coming in here trolling. All right. Hey, Vicky T. Wes says, Baby Seb's jubilation is coming. Whatever that means. Toids. I don't know what that is. So Vicky says, hey, Trucker John. Hey, Vicky T. Glad to see you here. Thanks for dropping by. But he goes, retarded means stunted brain. Yeah, I know what it means. I know they used to use it all the time. And doctors used to use the term and say, you know, your kid's mentally retarded. But then it became really used by in derogatory means, so that every time someone did something stupid, you go, hey, retard, hey, retard. And then people started saying, you know what, I've got a kid here with special needs. I have a kid that has some learning disabilities. And I don't really appreciate you calling someone who doesn't have that a retard because they did something you thought was stupid. That really hurts my feelings, and I have a kid here who has these problems, so I don't appreciate you using that word. That's why we don't say it anymore, Benny Loco. That's why we don't use that word. Okay, in case you were wondering. Wes says replace tards with toids. Benny Loco says hey Vicky. Saying hey. Cool Frog says advocate. Suzanne says, we are getting high-speed internet and Wi-Fi being installed in my neighborhood. Well, that's good. Vicky T says, how are you doing, Trucker John? I'm doing good. I just had my breakfast and my coffee, and I'm in my nice air-conditioned apartment, trying to stay out of the heat. Vinny Logo, they sure live taking away our words. I don't know who they is, and I think he meant love. Jolie says, sorry, my computer froze, then couldn't find my phone. That's okay, it happens. It's probably a ghost. Might have been a ghost. Benny Logo says, our country. So our country likes taking away words? Benny Logo goes, I'll use it as long. You go ahead. You can use whatever. I'm just pointing it out that I don't approve of it. I don't, and not that I'm the ultimate, say, but I've been. I think I understand why it became something that you don't say, and it was because of what I've already explained. I just explained it a couple minutes ago why, and I think that that's a valid enough reason to not use it. And if you don't see it that way, that's fine. But I think you're being really insensitive to families that have special need kids with learning disabilities. If you're using that term to just because there's someone you don't like or you don't agree with their political view, so you're going to call them that. I think it's very insensitive. Cool Frog says, yes, Drug, name calling of any sort is not necessary. Vicky G says, nice, good way to live. I heard your truck broke down. That totally sucks. Oh, that truck is history, Vicky T. That is long gone. The truck is gone. It's out of my life. I sold it, got rid of it. And I've been driving Uber for like 5 months now. And I love it, actually. It's a great break from truck driving. I still have my CDL. My CDL is still good for like another 5 years, so 4 years or something. I might be back in a truck at some point. I don't know, but I'm taking a break and enjoying it. I'm enjoying the break. So, Benny goes, tell that to your cult friends. Okay. Vicky G says, ooh, name calling. Well, what if it's a sibling? Because I see my brother say hello uglier than me. Yeah, well, look, hey, man. I mean, I'm not going to get into every little thing. Yeah, people who know each other, siblings and friends, yeah, we bust each other's balls. It's called busting your balls, right? I mean, I've got friends, old friends, from high school and college, and I haven't seen them in 30 years, but I'm sure I have a reunion coming up at the end of this month. We're going to immediately, I'm sure, just go right back to high school and start busting each other's balls, and we're going to fucking call each other names and everything else like that. But it's because we're friends, and we know that we're just fucking with each other. That's different, right? So Benny goes, I'm not saying he's mentally impaired. But because that's excusable, being well retarded. Okay, I'm not even going to read yours anymore. What says, it is a retort for when they call us libtard. I know. See, now that's the thing. And I've noticed, and it's fine. Cool Frog and when you go on this thing, they're all about, they don't want you to use names. And if I do call someone a name, then all of a sudden everyone wants to jump on me and say, don't call names and everything else. And I understand. That's fine. But, man, I tell you, I'm not saying Cool Frog did this, but people on the right have had no problem and no hesitation whatsoever, to call me a libtard. How many times, or have I heard the term libtard, or or even just a snowflake? Every time I would say, Trump, I would complain about Trump doing something, or whatever, then I was a snowflake. They had no problem calling me a snowflake, and they had no problem calling me a libtard. But, God forbid I should call one of them, I'm not even sure what I would say. Maybe Cool Frog could refresh my memory. If I called someone on the right um, I don't know, is a moron or something, I guess, then all hell breaks loose, you know. But if so, it goes both ways, you know. We can call them maggotoids or whatever. Suzanne, damn it, it's very hot here today in southeast Texas, Houston, Galveston area. Oh yeah, you guys have been going through some massive heat waves over there. Bill says, thank you, my point exactly. Vicky G says, well, yeah, gotta bust your friends' balls, especially the old friends. Can't be helped. Vicky G says, oh no, Suzanne, for you, my kids live down in Houston. I hope he's keeping cool. Yeah, it's just been unbearably hot down there. Cool for all said, I'm not a Republican. I don't know if I said you were a Republican. I think I just said people on the right, maybe. But anyhow, Benny Logo says that's okay, Wes. Some more of that double standard shit. Kovacs, I'm against both sides. Wes says maggotoid. He's just gonna keep going with that. You keep running with that one, Wes. It might catch on. Benny Logo says, I'm not bringing a flower to a gunfight. I didn't know we were in a gunfight, you know. I thought we were just conversing. I thought we were just having a conversation here. At least on this channel, we're just having conversations. Big ZZ says, oh, but flowers are pretty. One of the great pictures, I don't know, did you see it? I just love this one picture. Remember, it was during, it might have been some of the George Floyd protests or something, and there's this picture of this line of all these like cops in their full riot gear, and I think they might have had like maybe an AR-15 or something. I don't know, but they were all, you know, lined up. And then there's this one very beautiful black young lady, and she's kind of like just standing there and just being, you know, kind of like just saying, hey, you know, we're just peacefully protesting, and she's very just the opposite of this force, right? And she's just there, just vulnerable and open, and just, you know, and it's a beautiful picture. And she didn't bring a gun; she just brought her humanity. You know, she just brought her just being a person, being a real person that feels, you know, and doesn't deserve to be treated like a rabid dog. And she didn't bring a gun. She just put herself out there and said, why do you need all this force? I'm just a person. Here I am. See, I got nothing. Why do you have all these guns pointed at me? I'm just here as a human being saying that we need to stop killing each other. So we don't need the gun references. Wes says, I think that I used to be a Republican. You think? I mean, I think you would know. Either you were or you won't or you weren't, Wes. Vicky G says, oh, but flowers are pretty. So somehow I skipped that one, I guess. Benny Logo says, isn't this the OK Corral? No, sorry. You're in the wrong place. This is not the OK Corral. Vicky D says, especially if sticky flowers. Mwahaha. I don't know what sticky flowers are. Benny Logo says, my humanity thinned out when the Nazis showed up. The Nazis have been here a long time. Benny Logo says, and then they gunned her down. Great story. No, they did not gun her down. They did not. They didn't. If that was a joke, I mean, that was sticky flowers. I don't know what those are. Is this some sort of pot reference? Are we getting back to the pot stories now? All my pothead friends here that are in the chat. I'm not one. Big D says, "Oh yeah, you get it, Benny Loco." I don't get it. Benny Loco, yes, cannabis. Big D says, those are the best stories. Big T says, the sticky flower stories are the best stories. Okay, okay, if you say so. I might try an edible if I ever get a free coupon again, because sometimes when I take people to dispensaries, I get what's called a driver kickback at some of the places, and so they give you some cash. And this one place, they give you some cash, and they also gave me a coupon to come back in and get a free. I know they call it a flower, some kind of flower. I guess it was an edible, but there was an expiration date on that coupon, and I never did go back in and get it. So if I ever get another one, I might try it. Maybe I'll do it live. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Of Trucker John having his first edible ever in his life. Because back in the day when I was smoking pot, back in the late '70s and through the mid '80s, I don't. Well, the only edibles were if you made like pot brownies or something, or cookies and things of this nature. So I guess I did have some of those, but the way the edibles now are like gummy bears, right, or whatever. So I've never done anything like that. Vicky D says, I would put an indica for a night you have nothing to do. Benny Douglas says, I will send you an edible, John. We make the best Cali has to offer. All right. I don't know. I'm kind of, I'm kind of hesitant because here's the thing. Because Vicky D says, yes, do it live. Wes says, be careful first time, the tiny nibbles on the gummy. And then Vicky T says, oh, this isn't your grandpa's pot. Yeah, I know. I've heard so much about how the pot is so much more strong or whatever these days, and it's not like back in the day. Big T says, "Oh, Kelly Yummies, yes." Benny Logo says, "Panel me on your Johnny doesn't edible stream." Okay, I will if I see. I don't have like a computer, so I can't do panels. Like I'm doing this on an iPad and iPhone, but I can do that thing where I could invite, I think, one person to do like a split screen type of thing. We could do that. We could screw the tiny nibble, pop that bad boy into your mouth and have fun. Okay, now look, here's the deal about pot and me. Jolie says, yes, but here's the thing about pot and Trucker John. Back before I was Trucker John, I was just John. I was actually Mad John. My nickname was Mad John back then because I guess I was mad and I would get in fights with people like an asshole. And they called me Mad John. So back when I was Mad John, when I would get high, see, this is what people talk about. I never really understood the terminology when people say like drugs make them paranoid, feel paranoid. I didn't. My definition of paranoid was a little different. Because I was married to a stoner John. Ha ha ha. But I guess maybe that's what I was feeling. I was feeling whenever I would get high, I would feel, I wouldn't say paranoid, but I would feel vulnerable. I felt like, because when you're young and you're in parties, there's guys always getting in fights and guys are always choosing off on each other, and when I was high, I never really, I don't remember ever getting, here's the good thing, I don't remember ever getting into a fist fight when I was high. When I was drunk, yeah, all the time. But when I was high, I never got into a fight. But the thing is, because I would be really happy and giggly and just weird, I guess. But I also felt vulnerable. I felt nervous in that, like, what if somebody's going to try to fight me and I can't fight? Because I just felt like I couldn't fight. I couldn't defend. I felt like I couldn't defend myself when I was high against a physical threat. So that's why I didn't like it, even though all the other things were good. I would feel happy and joyful, and all the things that you probably should want to feel. But I felt like if someone's going to try to fight me right now, I'm going to get my ass totally kicked because I cannot. I just didn't feel like I could fight fast enough or swing fast enough or block anything or whatever. I just didn't. Or I would get jumped. I wouldn't see someone trying to jump me or something. So that was always my fear or about getting high. I just felt unprotected in that sense, which is weird because it's not like I grew up in the ghetto or something. I was a desert dude. It wasn't like there was just dudes jumping you all the time. But I guess when it happens enough, then it's in the back of your mind or whatever. I don't know. But so that was the thing. That's the thing about pot. It just makes me feel like I can't protect myself. And that's the only reason why I chose alcohol over pot, mainly because of that. And this thing keeps wiggling. Sorry about that. So I don't know. Like I said, the last time I smoked pot was in the early '90s. This was after I got divorced, and I was rooming up with this guy who I worked with, and in his backyard he was growing his own pot. He grew his own, and they looked really nice. The plants looked pretty, and he had shoe boxes full of pot that he had, whatever, de-leafed or whatever, and crushed and did the whole thing. And it was just there for the taking. He'd just leave it out on the coffee table. He's like, help yourself anytime you want. And so I was smoking pot over there, and I don't think I ever got high once. It was like total crap pot. It was like the worst pot I've ever smoked. But I was giving it a try. I gave it the old college try. But that was shitty pot. So I don't even know if I should count that as smoking. Because then before that, I didn't smoke anything since probably the late 80s. Probably 87 or 88. Yeah, apparently he grew it wrong because it was shit. But I gave it the old college try. I tried to get high off of it, but I couldn't. So just catching up on the chat here. Wes says I have relax blah 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 CBD one at a time is enough. Vic D says I got a friend who had some 300 milligram each gummy. Wes says they don't really take away the pain, but they make it so you don't mind it so much. Vicky T says fight or flight effect. Wes says you don't mind the pain so much. Vicky T says I throw some CBD isolate in the mix and it does wonders for my pain. Benny Nichols says get stoned with stoners, not drunks. Laughing out loud. Well, yeah, I had a lot of stoner friends. There were stoners. I mean, everyone would have like a beer, but yeah, but there were drinkers and there were stoners. I had friends on both sides of the fence there. Vicky D says, just like you don't do acid with straight people. Benilgos stoners are mellow. Yeah, pretty much, I guess. Benilgos says, laughing, whatever. Wes says, exactly, Vicky, that would put me on my ass. Benilgos says, exactly, Vicky. Vicky says, he grew it wrong. Yep, he did. Or something was wrong. Vicky D said, you could have been hemp at that point. Could have been hemp at that point. I don't know. I think he just got some seeds. I think he just bought some, or there's like some seeds in the bottom of the bag or something, and he just was growing those. And then Wes says, I think in Illinois the max is 1 gram per edible package, but you can purchase more than 1 package. So, okay, so that's today's hemp talk, or not hemp talk, but today's whatever, pot talk. Pot talk here on Tucker John Show. Thank you very much. So yeah, if I do, maybe I'll do a live. I was going to do a live beer drinking show one night because I got a case of Modelo in there. So we could do, hey, that might be interesting. Do one show where I just eat some edibles or whatever and see how that goes. And then do another show where I drink a case of Modelo and let's see how that goes. I tell you what, if I did that, I'd probably be busting holes in the wall when I drink the Modelo and wanting to go and fight people or whatever. And then, but on the edibles, I'll probably just be like, hey man, I'll be like loving everybody. I don't know, it might be interesting. You know, kind of a contrast and compare type of thing. Vicky says it's great because stoners are in everywhere and enjoy the talk. Oh, enjoy the talk. Wes says Negra Modelo, one of my best friend's favorites, just south of Stout. Yeah, I think I got the Negra. Vicky T, there you go, do it. Be interesting to watch. Yeah, real interesting, and it's kind of scary too. I don't know, especially the drinking one. Although, you know, beer is not. I don't know how alcohol makes, like, what, I guess it's because of the percentage of alcohol per bottle or whatever. Because I mean, beer, I'm usually not, you know, like a big angry drunk or whatever. But when I would drink like tequila, I swear if I drank tequila, because I would drink like, you know, big bottles of tequila in like an hour or whatever, I don't know. And I was ready to go commit murder. I really was. I mean, I was like pumped up and I was like feeling like Superman, and I was ready to go out and kill some people. Really, I was like homicidal when I drank tequila. So, but so I don't know why tequila would make me feel that way, but beer wouldn't make me feel that way. So it's weird. Benito says the smell of beer or booze on such breath makes me gag. Well, good thing we don't have smell-o-vision on there, because I mean, if I did that, right now I just have coffee breath. So, Benito says, but I love to cook with beer. Huh? Just plug your nose, I guess. Well, yeah, it's not like it's on your breath though. Vicky T says, "Oh, shoot the time. I need to go. Everyone, have a good day." Hey, thank you, Vicky T, for being here. I'm about ready to sign off myself. I got to get going. Wes says some of it smells like gasoline coming out of the other person's mouth. Other times it smells like a dirty bar, or sometimes it just smells like beer. I don't know. Jolie says, "Take care, Vicky T." Bendigo says, "Cheers, Vicky. Happy trails." Wes says, "Bye, Vicky." Thank you so much, Vicky T, for being here. Don't be shy. Hope you come back again. And with that, I think it's been a couple hours. We're over 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and take a shower. And I think I'm going to do some early Ubering. I might have some stuff to do around town first. And then probably do some Uber driving. You know, why not? That's my new job now, I guess, is being an Uber driver. So I should do that. What says beer and stomach acid? Jolie says help support the John live stream. Thank you so much, Jolie, for posting that, and thanks for being my mod. Thanks, Benny Loco, for being here. We don't always have to agree. We can still be friends, and I hope that we are friends, because I enjoy your comments, and I enjoy your channel and your videos and your input. So thanks for being here. Thanks for everyone. Cool Frog here was in for a bit. KO, Wes, Suzanne, VT, of course. Everyone who was here. Andrea. I got to put the right emphasis on the right syllable. Wes is saying, puppy feet, it's a happy smell. Benny Logo says, thanks for having us, John. Stay safe, sane, and cool out there. I will try my best. And I guess that's all we can do, is just try our best to be good humans and to be good to each other Let's be good to each other. I'll see you guys. I think over the weekend I'm going to try to do another live stream, Saturday or Sunday. So put the notification, hit that notification thing, I think, right? Hit the bell. And then whenever I go on, you'll see that I'm on. Hopefully, if YouTube is working right. All right, guys. Thanks so much from Las Vegas, Nevada. I am out.